Hello. I'm late. I am late. I've been freaking looking for these enamel pins all morning that I misplaced. Stupid. I've got too many like spaces that stuff can hide in this room. I was gonna stream today. I'm just struggling. I really wanted to take a nap, but I'm not gonna take a nap. I got a soda pop. You accidentally annoyed your parents because your entire Christmas list was just Warriors books? I feel like your parents would be happy that like you're asking for books, right? Overdue birthday cake, chocolate. Very good, very good. Anyway, hello everyone. Hello, hello. How is everyone? I'm doing okay. I think I have everything set in place for MFF. I think I am as ready as I will ever be. I managed to solve my missing print issue. The only thing is I cannot find these Werecat animated enamel pins I had that I was going to put on my bag. Very frustrating. I must have misplaced them somewhere. They were not in my Werecat merch box where I keep all of the like stickers and pins and stuff I get from people. I do not know where I put them. Anyway, today we're gonna work on this a little bit more. The next thing that I usually do, well, I need to line the background. The next step is lining the background. So, and I don't know how many people know this, but when I line backgrounds, sometimes I go into like this light art fog haze and I might not speak. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Is it pixelated? I am streaming at... I should be streaming at 720 at least. I used to stream at 1080, but I cut it down because I ended up, I don't know, I kept dropping frames, so I can bump it back up and see, but not for this stream. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna work on some of this, and probably won't do it the entire stream. I might do something else because I also might get bored just like lining the whole time as well. So Let me get a little bit of line. Let me get a little bit of like the ferns and stuff that are on the edges of the picture in there. Quiz later? Probably. We usually do quizzes on this, on the weekdays. Drawing simple backgrounds. Do you still mean like a scene? Like grass and trees and stuff? Some of the easiest background compositions to begin with are just centered ones. Practicing assets that belong in backgrounds is also helpful. So when I say assets, I mean like these fern leaves are assets. Like you can cover a lot of ground with like fern leaves and like foliage, like ground leaf. Studio Ghibli does like the heart-shaped ferns. You can do a lot with just some ferns and like learning how to do bushes and like how you want to draw bushes and rocks and then like trees if you want like a natural background. But just practicing items to fill a background can help you be more confident in like placing them around your cat and stuff like that. Like this one, I might just make these simplified ferns because sometimes I will like bunch out the ferns at the edges of them, but sometimes it just ends up being a little bit too complicated. I use hostesses a lot for foliage cover. If you look at hosta leaves, they have huge leaves. I mean, they're not like huge, but they're pretty big leaves, so they're good ground coverage as well. I don't think I want this to be poking out. I think I am just gonna do like the hosta leaves type thing over here. Get those sketched lines in there. Now, okay, I'm now understanding. So this plant, I need some of it to look like it's behind this tree or this cliff sign. Oh shoot, I need to post the frickin' prequels poster. I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry, guys. I've been so busy. I've been so busy. Yes, I need to post that. Maybe after I take a quick... When I take a break to rest my wrists, I'll post it. I think I just want these to be nice, big, comfy leaves. These ones I'll do the fern shape. Let's see, what do I want to do here? I do want... them to be like on top of the path a little bit. Add a little bit of dimensionality. Hey, Starry. Okay. So with ferns that are closer to the camera, usually I kind of give them a little bit more like detail-ish. I don't want... Okay, yeah. Don't put the fern up there, though. Let's just kind of push the fern this way. Oh, goodness. Maybe another one? Trying to draw ferns hurts my brain. There are like ways to simplify them to make them easier, but I feel like calling like a bunch of leaves that look like this, all clumped together ferns just doesn't feel right to me. They're not like fern. A fern has to have like a bit of a shape at the end of them, you know, I guess. I don't know. I kind of just call those leaves. But I kind of start with that shape and then kind of like flurry out the tips of them. I feel like as long as the tips are flurried, they read more like ferns, in my opinion. And then ThunderClan needs ferns for sure. ThunderClan's not ThunderClan without ferns. Aw, thanks, Clover. I like that, and then I wanted... I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I was in like the quarry area in Tears of the Kingdom that's like near the desert. Looking at like that area for some inspo. It's kind of out in the open though. It's not like closed off. There's actually a really tiny quarry close to where I live that I've visited before that I think would be more similar to what ThunderClan's quarry probably actually looks like. Trying to think, because I wanted like herbs to be growing on the top of this. But how do I incorporate that easily into the picture is the thing. I feel like it'd have to be... And then let me go look at medicine. Cat herbs. There's a medicine Wikipedia page. Let's see. I think that they could do borage up there. I don't know when borage blooms, so I'll figure it out later. This is my only stream this week, yes. And have a zesty scent. Alrighty, what else should be up here maybe? Burdock is probably is not deep enough for burdock. I wonder if Burnett would be good. I feel like they might do poppy up here, maybe. Maybe comfrey. Oh, there's a lot of things. Dandelion would probably grow up here. I'll just do a bunch of like herbies. I honestly think catnip could probably grow up here. I've grown it in my herb garden, which is like a shallower dirt pile. Every camp had an herb garden. I feel like I could probably squeeze one in. I don't know. I feel like WindClan would definitely probably have one, like with how sunny it is there and stuff. I'm just gonna make it random herbs for now. I'm not gonna think about it too heavily. Oops. Pulled it out. Best not to think about how big the herbs are and compared to cats either. Don't think about it too hard. I almost wonder, because right now I have the lichen being like, ooh, I could do a double. I could do a two, like some of it's growing really far up and then some of it's like on the back of the den. Which lake camp would I tackle next? If I had to pick right now, probably the RiverClan one. But I don't know. I need to finish the Moonstone one. I think that's the one I've had. Well, the ShadowClan Lake Camp I sketched a really long time ago. Like, I think I sketched it before I even sketched the ShadowClan Forest Camp. But I think now the Moonstone is probably my oldest sketch, so I should probably finish it. But the tribe is also getting older. So, I don't know. How did I do this? Because it looks like I wanted it to be kind of curved inwards, but then at the same time... I have this liking thingy. Have it during the silent thaw. Is that the only time that I can do it in the springtime? I'll probably fudge the numbers then. Hold on. I mean, I didn't really start thinking about, like, making sure that the seasons lined up with the timeline until very recently. Like, the ThunderClan Forest Camp happens in the fall, but in reality, in the book, it's happening in the springtime, so I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, I guess it would have to be during, like, Veil of Shadows and stuff. See, I was just gonna do it during a Light in the Mist-ish. I was technically gonna do it in, like, the Greenleaf Leaf-Fall area. Although, now that you mention it, Agnolia, I would like to have Willow Shine in it. So I guess, yeah, like, Veil of Shadows could be. Technically, Icewing wouldn't be in camp, but we'll just pretend that that's not the case. Like, Icewing and Hairlight would technically not be in camp anymore, but I think that's after Veil of Shadows. And then, yeah, because the battle where a bunch of cats die is in, well, it's at the end of Veil of Shadows. So I could have it right before that. Because then I could still have Soft Pelt and Dappled Tuff in it. I would just be missing... I don't think I would actually be missing anybody. Yeah, I guess it would be around, like, Veil of Shadows area. And that actually works perfectly. Maybe I do want this to be more... Where was the horizon line for this again? God forbid I forgot. Yeah, it's like right here. Okay. So we'll just have this be in front. That is the horizon line. Okay, I see, I see. And then... I'm trying to think if I want this to be like a perfectly square entrance. I guess I had trees growing out of the cliffside in the SkyClan camp now that I start thinking about it, so... Whatever, man. Live your life. Why does the nursery look man-made? Well, it's in a quarry, so I'm trying to balance the look of a man-made quarry with the overgrown look that the cats have moved in, right? So I'm hoping that it still does look man-made, but it looks like it should look unnatural to a point that you're wondering, I guess. I don't know. But yes, it should look man-made. To an extent. Man-made but overused. You know what I would love to draw? I would honestly love to draw the guardian cat's like church area. That'd be really fun. That'd be a really nice like environmental study. An overgrown like church. Hey Amber. Welcome back. I hope your vacations went good. We missed you. And finding like 50 cats. Well, that's the thing. It's like, what are they doing with the moon pool? Are they actually like cordoning it off to like, I feel like, so in my mind, right? There's a campground right next to the lake. So in my mind, the moon pool would be a perfect hike right next to a campground. So I'm like, are they just like cordoning it off to like smooth it out and put a concrete thing so that people can hike to like the waterfall? That's my like initial impression. My favorite is the former quarry. It's how hilariously small of a quarry it would have to be. Yeah. Wasn't it still being used? I don't think so. Was it? They acted like it wasn't being used. Maybe it was. I don't know. Gonna make it into a swimming pool. I don't know. It's like one of those devil's bathtub sink pits, whatever they're called. The moon pool. I'm gonna push up the lichen a little bit on the edge. I would love for it to be able to see a little bit of the herbs on the edges, but I feel like they're probably further back in. Well, I was showing my dad this picture, and I told him that like there was a quarry and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, well, you should. Is there a water source? You should put a water source in, because quarry lakes are like the deepest of blue." And I'm like, Dad, there's like 60 cats in this picture. You think I can include a water source? It's on the other side of the camp. It happened to go to Joshua Tree in Death Valley when it was raining. Ooh, that's really rare. Very, very lucky. Jealous. The water's in the medicine bin. Yeah. 2 of the driest deserts on this continent right after rainfall was quite cool. Yeah, I feel like that's very lucky. I'm trying to think if I want to put a moss bed in it, but man, I don't think that there's enough space. I'd have to. I feel like the moss beds would be further in. You know? And yeah, Sorreltail's right there. I don't think I'm going to be able to add any more detail to it. Had to deal with flooded out roads and getting rained on, but it was worth it. Saw a ton of flowers that usually only bloom in the spring. And a desert tortoise. Those are... Wow! Both of them are a vulnerable population. Ooh. Wait, desert animals hibernate? I didn't know that. I thought only like animals that had to do like cold weather and stuff hibernated. Interesting. Kind of want to do a bush back here. I want to push more greenery. As much as I can, I would like to be growing around the, like I can push some vines and stuff, like some ivy vines. Sage burrows, okay. Because I want to be able to push the greenery in ThunderClan. I don't want it to just look like it's been freshly, you know. Return to lurking. Enjoy the lurk, enjoy the lurk. We're doing a chill stream today where I'm just figuring out the details in the landscape of this picture. We finished adding all of the cats into it. I'm sure that we will be revisiting which cats are doing what in stream. Someone will end up asking. We can do a recap. Recap. Again with the puns. Any theories on the new arc? Not particularly. I'm still on the fence on whether it's going to be like a territory change arc or not. But I'd say I'm leaning towards we're going to get a new territory at the end of the arc. Which I am fine with. It will be painful, but I think it will be worth it. I will be interested to see what the new editing team can come up with, like, territory-wise. Do you have to draw 7 more pictures? Yeah, probably. I think that RiverClan cats would use cattails to, like, pad out their bedding. Okay, I can add some rocks and stuff into this area. I need to be careful. This plant, I don't think. I can make it a little bit bigger so that it doesn't impede squirrel flight as much. I'm pretty sure that it's just going to be a painful arc if it ends up being that's like... I'm a little worried because we still don't know what the overarching plot of the arc is going to be, and we're 2 books in, which is not usually a very good sign. But Among Us. I'm ready to leave the lake for sure. I believe that the lake is a little bit too... the fact that there's an entire lake in the middle of the territories just makes the rest of the... It makes the territories feel too separated from each other, in my opinion. I would love to go back to a territory where the gathering place is right in the middle of all of the territories and there's a little bit more interconnectivity. Yeah, I would like the 5-slice pizza again, basically. For sure. My wish list for a new territories is I would like there to be the 5-slice pizza. Because I like the territory squelbles. I would love for them to return to like some silly stuff like Sunning Rocks again. I would love for them to introduce territories that... I would love for them to introduce territories that might force the cats to have to learn a new skill. Like WindClan returning to tunneling or something, or maybe like WindClan's... I don't know. I would like there to be more roads and stuff. I would like there to be dangers present. The thing is that there's like no rogues around the lake territories. There's no humans. There's like the summer humans, but there's no rogues, there's no roads, there's like one set of loners, there's no two-leg place. It feels very distanced from everything in general. So I would like them to add more dangers into it. No, they never mentioned tunneling. They should. They should have. But they did not. Less badgers. Oh, watch your step. It's okay. Like I said, I was playing Tears of the Kingdom and I was looking at the quarry there, and there's a lot of like uneven ground and footing and stuff. That I was trying to incorporate more into the picture. No, actually, that's right where Puppy Frost's head is. Chill. Chill, Leaves. Chill. Okay, then there's the rock pile. Of which Hazel is on one. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like in Hidden Moon there was a lot of like, oh well, we'll talk about leaving in a month. We'll talk about leaving in 2 months. We'll talk about. So it feels like there's a lot of buildup for them not to leave, but at the same time, you never know, man. You never know. Warrior cats will surprise you with the amount of nonsense that they can throw at you that goes nowhere. A lot of ThunderClan spoofs probably doesn't know what a thunder path is or how to cross one safely. Yeah, I mean, that is probably the case. So it's kind of like the mountain situation, right? But at the same time, do you really think that they're going to leave the territories just because the moon pool isn't shown again? Do you think that it's just leading up to having like a new moon pool type area being discovered? Because that would just be so boring. If that's what it's all leading up to, you know? Moon rock? Maybe trash pile clearing off the counter. Oh my gosh. The rock they used when they first got there? I don't know which rock that is. But yeah, I have no idea what they're planning on doing. Who knows? a little meteor. That's actually kind of funny. I don't know. I would honestly welcome a territory change. It's gonna be boring for them to like get to the territory and like set it up and all that stuff, but I think like in the long run it'll be fun because we'll have a new setting for them to mess around with, and I don't know. We will see, I suppose. I have no expectations currently of what the, like... of what we're gonna be doing. Let's see, what kind of rocks do I want to do this? Hello, Pickles Cat. This was literally never happened, but if the youth ignored the warnings and moved last second and the clans got all scattered in a two-part arc where there was a massive time skip. Yeah, I don't think they'd ever do something like that. I also don't think that they would have all the elders stay behind either. Mainly because, I don't know if they would be willing to give up that many, like, fan favorite characters. Although, maybe they will. I would be pleasantly surprised if they gave up all the elders and had some people retire as soon as they got to the lake. Hello, Johanna's cat. Is this Nintendogs music? Or is this just like Nintendo DS music? I honestly have no idea. Yeah, I don't think that they'll ever give us a completely new cast ever again. Mainly because Dawn of the Clans didn't do very well sales-wise, so I think that they'll never give us like a major time skip like that again. I mean, we are getting it in Super Editions, and that's... the best we can hope for. Oh, bathing my Nintendog. Oh, yes. That is what it was, I think. Or shopping time? But yes, I'm pretty sure the arcs are gonna stay like chronological from now on. I mean, the new team hasn't done any more than like a 3 month, or like a 3 to 6 month time skip. I don't think. Quote me if I'm wrong. But there was a time skip in A Vision of Shadows. Like, Open to the Stars to A Vision of Shadows. But the time skip between Broken Code of Starless Clan and, Changing Skies hasn't been that long, has it? Like 9 months maybe for Changing Skies? How high do I want the rock pile to go? I don't think I want it to go as high as I have it in the sketch. I think I just want it to go like up to here. And jump a little bit from the top of it. Part of me wants to have a like crumbling rock face up here that it looks like it came from. So do I ever read any Warriors rewrites? I do not. I've read fanfics that are like set within the realm of canon that are like slightly different, like Petal Cut Shadow. I don't know, would you consider that a rewrite? That I wouldn't really consider a rewrite. A rewrite is like completely rewriting an entire book, right? I've never read anything like that. I don't think that they're opposed of killing fan favorites, but I think that they've set the bar. I don't know. I feel like they want them all to go out very like to be a major plot point, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to do with this. I wanted like a tree or something, but I'm not really feeling it, I guess. I want the rock pile to just look like it's coming from the back behind it, and then I wanted like foliage on top of it up here, but I also don't want it to look like it's a way out of camp either, is the other struggle, right? So I think I'm going to just do what I originally wanted to, and I'm just gonna like stop it from up here. Yeah, I mean, Sandstorm's death is probably... Yeah, I mean... Gray Stripes definitely. I guess they're more worried. I feel like they're very attached to all of the new Prophecy cats. I mean, they've teased that Crowfeather might be gone, but he's probably the least received. Well, Brambleclaw too. I don't know. They're very attached to the new Prophecy Journey cats, and then I think they're very attached to Cloudtail and Brightheart. In my mind. Who's gonna be the deputy? I would say probably like Breezepelt. Hey, Dia. If I had to guess, I would say Breezepelt would be the safest choice for deputy. See, I just don't feel like Heathertail wants to be deputy. I feel like Heathertail has no, like, she doesn't really want to lead a clan, you know? Deputy Hoot Whisker. I would love that. Hootstar. Hootstar becomes reality? For plot purposes, regressing, I wouldn't be okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with people being petty and regressing to make it more interesting around here for the clans. Deputy Appleshine? You know I would love an apple star. A canon apple star. There aren't too many old Wind Clan cats. I think the oldest Wind Clan cat that's still a warrior is Leaftail, I think. Emberfoot, maybe? Other than that, like, Breezepote is a senior warrior. He's like the third oldest cat. Heathertail might be like a couple months older than him. Flutterfoot? Maybe. Breezestar is a very, like, typical Wind Clan leader name, though. They've been really liking having leaders be like the leaders being very like typical clan names, like Hairstar, Ice Star for water, Hawkstar. Breezestar is a very typical like Wind Clan name, you know, the theme naming. Yeah. Galestar and Swiftstar, yeah. See ya, Chalk. Thanks for stopping in. Thea, are you gonna be able to see Soupy before you leave? Because I think me and Soupy settled on trade agreements. I will accept Breezestar only if he causes problems constantly. Yeah, pretty much. I need someone that's got problems, and not just the ones that are little. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited. I can't find my Warrior Cat animated enamel pins. Don't tell Toon. I've misplaced them. I have no idea where they are. Need to find them. I think I'm gonna keep the back wall like more simple than this area up here. Actually, what I want to do here is I would like to make it look like, it's okay. I'll figure it out later. This is supposed to look like it's kind of coming down, and I guess I would like to try to figure out how to make that feel more. I mean, the only thing I could do is bring up the whole thing, but I don't want to do that, so. Oh, I'm so excited for MFF. I found my Homestuck buttons and stuff. I went through like my little trinkets drawer of like old fandoms and stuff. I'll bring some of them for the trading. But obviously you can have like first dibs. Yeah. Do you think Mudclaw would have caused as many problems as One Star did? Yes. And I'm gonna be real with you, if we got Mudstar instead, Darktail would have been Mudstar's kid. You could have easily put Mudclaw's and One Star's entire like character arc like onto each of them. And we would have gotten Mudstar's confession. I don't think that Mudstar would have made it to A Vision of Shadows. I think he would have died much quicker. Okay, what am I gonna do with this backed in? Wait, hold on. Let me get out my freaking bifocals to read this chat. That's like 50 times smaller than everyone else's. The map looks really nice. I like the color palette. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, Mudclaw was old. Why are you talking so small? Why are you whispering? A mouse has entered the chat. I think if Mudstar was leader, Soul would have been able to manipulate him easily. I think One Star was always supposed to be the leader of Wind Clan. Though. I think they always intended for him to be leader when writing the new prophecy. Mainly because he was the most major character from the first arc from that clan. It's night, otherwise I might wake up people. Okay. I think that the editors decided that Dead Star wasn't gonna be very family friendly, so then they were like, well shoot, now we have to come up with somebody else. Hey, Amy. Well, when you think about it, so Deadfoot was... He's like 9 months younger than Tallstar, so he was also pretty old in the New Prophecy, so... On paper, I like the concept of 1 star. I like that he is struggling to prove himself against a cat that he has been friends and trusts a lot of his opinion, but like struggling to gain the fact that his leadership starts with like a coup is not a good look. So I understand on paper his concept is very interesting. Does that make sense? But in practice, he's not as interesting. One star sudden animosity. Yeah. Because I understand the concept of it. He's struggling to prove himself. He doesn't feel like he's worthy of being leader. He has to deal with a coup. He has to deal with... He kind of struggles with the same thing that Crowfeather does in Crowfeather's trial, which I felt like would have been very interesting to kind of showcase, whereas it almost feels like he trusts Firestar more than anyone else in his own clan. And so, struggling with leading a clan that doesn't even respect you, and constantly comparing yourself to your literal, like, Jesus friend that's amazing at everything and is just like an ultra chad, and you're just like 1 star. I understand the concept, right? That's why I think he's interested in Crowfeather's trial, because you can see him switch on a dime when he's actually talking to cats that he respects and that he's like, I don't know. He's interesting. Hey, Mail. There's a lot that they could have touched on in 1 Star's confession to make it more interesting. Honestly, I feel like the Darktail plotline of 1 Star is not the most interesting thing about him. It's very much like a, oh my gosh, this long-lost kid from this fan or a nostalgic cat had a kid and he's evil and he's doing evil stuff, yada yada yada. Oh my gosh. That's like one of the most retcons timeline, like, things you could do, to be like, oh, remember this guy? Well, he has a son that he never told anyone about. So I feel like that's not the most interesting part of him, but whatever, man. But that's what 1 Star's confession decided to, like, focus on. I think it's because the new team thinks that they cooked really hard with that. Whereas, in my opinion, I think it would be more interesting to have focused on his relationship with Firestar. And for it to end with Firestar dying and, like, have some sort of acceptance of that, or, like, I don't know. I think that would have been a more interesting book. But I still don't think that book would have been necessary at the same time, you know? Hey, hello. How does a gray cat and a pale brown cat produce black and white cat? Don't worry about it. I think that I feel like One Star's Confession should have included more about the first arc and the second arc. I feel like that might have been more interesting. What's the worst retcon? Stormplan's Folly being between Clodstar's Journey and Mapleshade's Vengeance. It felt cheap. I mean, Darktail is probably the best villain that the new team has written. And he has clear motives. You understand why he's doing what he's doing, yada, yada, yada. You understand why he hates the clans. He's not just, like, hungry for power. He also has vengeance, and he feels like he's been wronged by them. Similar to Scourge. Except that's his whole backstory is retconned into the graphic novel that is his. That's not shown at all in in Darkest Hour, which automatically makes Darktail better because we know about his motives in the actual arc that he's part of. But, like, think about it. He could have been anybody's son. He just happened to be One Star's because One Star was the oldest leader at the time. If Black Star was still alive, he could have been Black Star's son. If Leopard Star was still alive, he could have been Leopard Star's son, you know? So I just think that part of his storyline is very, like, lackluster. It's very much a, like... I mean, he could have been, like... God, who cares? He could have been Morning Flower's son. He could have been Ratscar's son. He could have been Ragged Star's son. He could have been anybody's son. They just decided to make it One Star. He didn't have a backstory that was completely unique to one. Like, we had never known that One Whisker likes kitty pets before that, you know. So, like, you don't know how Darktail Super Edition is going to expand? I don't know either. But I have no expectations for it, so I'll go into it and I'll probably be satisfied. Usually if I go into something with no expectations, like, I'm not the hugest fan of Darktail. I'm not a huge, like, villains person in general. So I'm not, like, expecting it to be good or anything. So I'll probably think it's fine. It's interesting that they're putting two super editions back to back out that are cats that are not nostalgic. I would say for a cat to be considered nostalgic, they had to have been introduced in the first 4 arcs. So they've done 2 super editions now, back to back, that are not going to have nostalgic cats, which is a very interesting play for them. Because I automatically think that that super editions that don't have recognizable cats in the name don't sell as well. No one really ever talks about them. Hawkwing's Journey, never heard of her type thing with like the main, I would say with like the majority of the fandom. Well, I think that the authors have confirmed that Sleek Whisker did have a crush on him. So it'll be interesting to see if they end up like making that a thing at all. I could also see Sleek Whisker, now this is the other thing, right? I could see Sleek Whisker coming back in this arc. Like she's teased at the end of Chasing Shadows, and then we see character development from her in the Darktail Super Edition, and then she comes back fully in the 4th book of Changing Skies, because they do that a lot. They do that a lot. That happened with the Riverstar book. The Riverstar book introduced Riverstar to us again, and then he became a pretty major StarClan guide for Frostpaw in the next book. Does that make sense? And then it would also give Sleek Whisker a motive to come back, because if they were actually in love with each other and it was reciprocated, then she could feel wronged that the clans killed her mate. As well, by the way. Typical motive. I believe that they're going to bring back Sleek Whisker. This would be the perfect time to do it, because she's definitely going to be in the Dark Whisker, or the Dark Whisker, the Darktail novella, or Super Edition, I believe. It's a companion piece to One Star's Confession. They've already said this, so I feel like it's going to be a recap book of A Vision of Shadows in some capacity. I would be very interested in seeing more of the dynamic between Rain and Darktail as well. That'll be interesting. I don't know. And before you say, oh my god, Sleek Whisker and Darktail will never get together, they have such a large age gap. Don't even get me started with freaking Warrior Cats. You know that doesn't stop them ever. Look me straight in the eye and tell me that that's ever stopped them. Not saying that I want it. I'm just saying it could happen. I would prefer it not to happen that way. I would prefer her to have a motive that's not like a romantic one in any way, but it's Warrior Cats, exactly, Darkleaf. Did I like A Vision of Shadows? It has grown on me. It's probably one of the only arcs that I respected a lot more on second and third read-throughs, where I could kind of pick and choose which chapters I could read and which plot lines I could like discard from my memory. Fan favorite. I think that they saw how well received Curlfeather and Berryheart were in the last arc, like female villains, and Mapleshade is one of their most popular villains, that they'd be willing to bring back more female characters as villains. Like, even just because of that. You know? It was my least favorite, but it's grown on me more post Broken Code. I grew to really like it a lot more when I focused on like Shadow Clan's plotline through the whole thing. I find them very interesting. I really like Alderheart during the Raging Storm. I like his plotline. I really like Tree as a character. I do really like the characters in A Vision of Shadows. I just wish that the protagonists didn't feel like they couldn't interact with them, if that makes sense. I get that from Alderheart and Violet Shine, especially in like the middle for Alderheart, where he's just so focused on the prophecy and like the main plot that he doesn't really interact with anybody aside from like a select few. Violet Shine just never interacts with anybody other than like 2 people. And so she doesn't really give me what I want in a warrior cat protagonist. So the point of view characters in A Vision of Shadows are Alderheart, Twig Branch, and Violet Shine. And I feel like Twig Branch is the best protagonist out of that. It's an unpopular opinion because many people think that she's the most boring. But hear me out. She's the one that actually cares about the characters around her. She's the one that has really just like great interactions with a lot of various characters. Her relationship with Ivypool is fun. Her relationship with Finpaw is fun. I like her with Hawkwing. I like her with Briarlight, Jayfeather, and Alderheart. I like her with I do like her with Violet Shine. I just wish that Violet Shine wasn't just like crazy with her. Her relationship with Sparkpaw is okay. Flypaw, it's like meh, but honestly, Raging Storm, I hate. I think Twig Branch is very out of character in Raging Storm, period, and I refuse to believe Raging Storm's Twig Branch plotline is canon. Because I really like Finleap and Twig Branch, and I feel like it's unnecessary for the whole entire, like, oh my gosh, we shouldn't have kids yet. I'm ready to have kids. I hate you, blah, blah, blah. I think that plotline is super unnecessary. And it's, like, the one reason people hate Finleap. But he's so cute in, like, in Darkest Night and River of Fire. So you're gonna discount him being, like, an adorable little guy just because he has one bad interaction in one book? No, I refuse. I refuse to believe that's canon. Yeah, he's so normal, and then he's not normal, and then he's normal again. So I'm just like, okay, you just had a psychotic break. That's fine. It happens to the best of us. No, it is interesting. Hello. I honestly think it's blown out of proportion. I think that it's completely understandable to have that type of conversation with someone. But I don't feel like their relationship that until then warranted the intensity of either side's reaction to it. Does that make sense? Like, it just felt like very out of character for them to argue so intensely about something like that. The Darktail Super Edition comes out, I think is it November? No, it's, I think it's in September. Isn't it like just the Super Edition? It's just in the fall. Yeah, so it's like the September release for next year. Like most Super Editions come out in the fall, so it's just like the next book is the reactions showcase the fact they're not ready for kids. It's crazy. I understand why they did it, but honestly, I understand both sides' point of view. People are always like, Finleap, I can't believe that he reacted like that. But I'm sitting here like, whenever cats become mates and warriors, it's literally expected. Even from the readers, it's expected for you to have kids. You don't become mates and just, like, not have kids. So, it's understandable, and I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to be like, no, we're not like that anymore. We're not writing warrior cats like that anymore. They can be mates without kids, guys. We're cool now, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. Continues to make cats mates just so they can have kids. I'm like, don't pass off your crappy writing. I know what you're doing there. Changing Skies is the last arc. I don't believe that. I believe the last arc will be made. Warrior Cats is not going to go out in a blaze of glory. It's going to go out like a faint ember, just finally unlighting. As long as Changing Skies makes money, and they're making a lot of money with the graphic novels right now, they're going to keep making books. I don't believe that Warrior Cats is going to have a grand finale ending. If they wanted to do that, they would have stopped with Omen of the Stars. Hey, Evie. What plot do you prefer and what plot don't you like? I just don't really like romance-heavy plots for Warriors. I feel like they fall flat for me. I'm never very interested in them. Personal preference. I'm just not like a very romantic person personally. I appreciate plots that are very, like, familial relationship based. So I really like Starless Clan having, like, sunbeams. Like, all of the relationships with their mothers in that were, like, slightly different, which I really appreciated. Like, the foiling between Curlfeather, Berryheart, and Sparkpelt was very interesting to me. I really like Broken Code because of the relationship between fathers and sons in that book. I think that Tiger Star and Shadowsight's relationship is really interesting, and then Tree and Root Springs is very interesting. They're both, like, really nice to read. I like Dawn of the Clans because it's got a lot of familial relationships in it as well. Like with Grey Wing and Clear Sky. Aromantic? I don't know. I don't put labels on myself. I'm just me. I just live my life the way I want to live it. This tree is probably... Ah, man, I'm gonna have to really think about how complicated I want the tree to look. I want it to look like it's woven into the bush, you know? But, I mean, it's not... I feel like I'm balancing the details decently. This is another thing I try to avoid while I'm doing backgrounds. Background tip. I try to avoid things like this. You see how these are like almost the same exact shape? Try to avoid that as much as possible. Most of the times, the easiest way is to just like change up the number of leaves in the bundle. It can make it feel less like, I don't know, artificially generated. I think I'm going to do the leaves like this. Just one leaf is fine. Truly a cat distribution system. A kitten was found under a barn. Ooh. Do you have a favorite characters apart from Clear Sky and Grey Wing? I have quite a few. I feel like you can't be in the Warrior Cats... You can't have read every single Warrior Cats and not have, like, more than 5-ish favorites. I like Grey Wing and Clear Sky. I like a lot of just, like, typical favorites. I like Shadowsight. I like Tree. I like Grey Stripe. I like Cinderpelt. I like Blue Star. I like Brackenfur. I like Jayfeather. Ivy Pool and Dovewing. Strike Stone. Smile. I have so many favorites. Yeah, I respect all warrior cats. Respect all warriors. Favorite villain. I don't know if I really have a favorite villain. I mean, I would say Soul is probably the one that I think is the silliest and most interesting. But I wouldn't really even consider him a villain, because for me, villains are probably like just unapologetically evil, which I don't usually find that interesting as a character. Favorite background good guy is definitely Brackenfur. For Strike Stone. Favorite background mean guy. I'm like, can I say that word? I can't remember if I can or not. Probably Darkstripe. I just think he's so silly and stinky. I'm gonna do some ferns over here. Now, these ferns are far enough in the back that I don't think I'm... Well, I'll probably simplify these out. My favorite queen. Fern song. Just kidding. My favorite queen's probably... Frostfur? Doing things in bunches of 3 or 5 is usually a lot more natural looking than 4s and 2s, by the way. Another helpful tip for you. I really liked Daisy. Daisy has grown on me. I liked her novella. I've never really thought about my favorite queen. Because is that like mean that they have to be in the nursery? Because there's only like a handful of permanent queens in all of Warriors. So, and I don't know, it feels weird to just pick a character based on how they are in the nursery. I don't know. What do I feel about Palebird? I remember just talking about Palebird with someone the other day. I think that she has an interesting plotline, but we never really get to see the payoff of the plotline. So she kind of just falls flat for me. Like a lot of things in Warrior Cats, the initial bones of the idea is interesting, but they don't pay it off with anything, right? So the initial bones of her having the postmortem depression, her plotline is kind of reused for Sparkpelt, where we actually do get to see a payoff of it with her like mending her relationship with Nightheart, them coming to an understanding and stuff like that. But Palebird, we never really get to see her ever interact with Tall Star once he's out of the nursery. The next time we see her is she's just like basically moved on and with Woolly Tail now, and she's completely okay with having another litter without like any sort of like traumatic event setting in for her about having kits again. So there's not really any payoff that makes me like satisfied with her character arc. Does that make sense? Someone where motherhood is an important part of the character. I might change my answer to Dovewing. I think that Dovewing being a mother is a very important part to her. I think family for her is a very important aspect. She thinks very highly of family and the family that she has sacrificed a lot to create. But I do like Frostfur. I also like Brindleface a lot. Particularly, Brindleface and Goldenflower. Brindleface adopted Cloudtail, but Goldenflower actually nursed Storm and Featherkit when they were younger for about a month. Maybe not a month, but for like a week or so after Silverstream bears them. Because there's like this weird sort of like calm before the storm period in Forest of Secrets where Silverstream is given birth and died. The kits are now in ThunderClan for a while until, like, I would say it's almost like a week or two that they're in ThunderClan, getting nursed alongside Bramble and Tawny Kit. And then Tiger Star's coup happens. RiverClan has been told that there are kits and that they are probably old enough to travel to RiverClan now. So there's like this interesting like couple of weeks that you could really focus on the ThunderClan nursery, I think. That's like in Forest of Secrets. Because you have Storm and Feather, you have Tawny and Bramble, you have Snow Kit. I think Cloud, you have Fern and Ash Kit still, but they're older. But and you could technically have, well, I think Cloudpaw is, I can't remember. I feel like Cloudpaw might have just like, it's just about to become a warrior. So, I don't know. I feel like I started this, like I've done this before, where I wanted there to be a hole in this tree, but then I keep on getting rid of it because I keep on thinking against it. How do you guys like watching me draw that bush for like an hour? Probably have to cut down the details a little bit. Maybe not. It's always a lot to work with when it's just the sketch like this with all the lines the same like darkness. Information overload. Okay, Spiderleg is now sitting on ferns. Spiderleg, we're gonna have to fix that. I know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, Rose Petal's gonna fall. Thinking bush, thinking bush. These are small ferns. Look how big tiny these ferns are compared to cats. Small. It's okay. They could be mini ferns. I might change him to be something different. Okay, we need to fix Molepaw because I've now made it so that he's on nothing. So So we have to fix Mole Paw. We either have to change this and make it so that he's like not just floating up into nothingness. Where is he? Maybe they don't grow as big when they're trampled by cats all day. Guess I could move him over to here. And then make a ledge that he's like, make a ledge right here. Dust and bracken need to be shrinked down. To about right there, probably. Man, this is a lot of cats. This is a little bit overwhelming to look at right now. Oh my god. Do you guys ever just like look back and be like, what have I gotten myself into? It'll sell. I don't mind if it's... I don't make these... Well, let's just say I don't make most of these prints just so I can sell them. It does help me actually create them, that I can actually live a little bit off of them. Like, I can pay some of my bills with them, but at the same time, I wouldn't be here making these landscape pictures if I didn't like drawing them. Like, let's be real. No one's gonna be buying that Wind Clan Lake Camp picture, but I want it. I want it on my wall. But yeah, the next lake camp after this will probably be River Clan. And then, man. I'm really hoping for Hawkstar because I would love... I mean, technically speaking, I could draw the Sky Clan camp during, like, Chasing Shadows and, or, like, Hidden Moon and make it so that it's basically Hawkwing in charge. How long do I think this poster will take? So, yeah, well, I'm the completionist, so I'm making them for myself. So I don't know how many. I've only worked on this on stream, by the way. I have not worked on this at all off stream, so it'll be interesting to see about how long it does take me. You should be able to look. Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm refining the sketch. After I refine the landscape sketch, I will be lining it, and then I will refine the colors after I have lined it. Actually, I might refine the colors before I do the final lines for the background. And then after I line the background, I start... And I've finalized the colors, the color splash. I will start drawing the final lines for all the cats, and at the same time I interchange with rendering and clipping all the colors into the line art and cleaning it all up, and that's what takes the longest. The longest portion is me lining every single cat, cleaning up all the colors, integrating all the cats with their drop shadows and shading into the picture. Then after I do all that, I'll do a final round of global filters and lighting and slight adjustments. Make sure that all the tangents for like at least the main cats are cleaned up. And so we're not even to the part of the process that takes the longest right now. So I don't know how long this will take. I'm hoping that it's done before... Well, if I worked on it off stream, I would work faster. I work slower on stream because I'm also looking at chat. I'm paying attention to different things. My mind's wandering. I am slow. I start talking. So I would say that if I worked on this constantly and on and off stream, I could get it done by the end of this month. But I probably won't. My goal would be to get it done before my next con, which I don't know when my next con would be. I've applied to some, but I don't have any. I've been waitlisted for... I don't have any more confirmed right now. I've applied to some. I've been waitlisted for some. But yeah. I'm just taking a quick wrist break. The ThunderClan forest camp took me 2 weeks, and I worked on it non-stop for 2 weeks. I didn't do it on stream, I think I did some of it on stream, but I also worked on it off stream, so... Basically, what I could do is... After I get this sketch done, I could definitely do the lines and the finishing line art off stream, and I could... I actually like doing my final, like, color round before I start rendering the colors in on my Retina laptop, my Retina screen laptop, because I think it does colors a lot better. Because what people like on stream, I think a little bit more than me, like, rendering out background details, is me finishing up the cats and rendering the cats into the picture and stuff like that. So, typically, I try not to do any cats off stream, because people like when I draw it. Post speed paints, I used to. I've tried to do speed paints where, like, I'm talking over the picture as it's drawing. But the issue with that is Photoshop doesn't have the option like Clip Studio Paint to do a speed paint with the picture completely out like this all the time. Like, the speed paint is gonna have me like zooming in like this all the time, you know? Which might become a little awkward for people. So, Photoshop doesn't have that ability to like screen share like that. Record your... I think Clip Studio Paint does. I think we'll do a quiz, you guys. While I rest my wrist. Let's do ThunderClan Cats by Pelt Color. I know. Acorn Fur's not in this one. I don't think. Sorry. Oh, yes, the Super Edition poster. Okay, thank you, Yuna. Let me, after we do this quiz, I'll BRB afterward and grab my laptop so I can post it, because the picture's on my laptop, like the JPEG. I also have to watermark it because people sell my posters on Temu, which sucks. Okay, gray. Gray stripe. He's definitely gray, right? Yeah, he's gray. Willow Pelt's gray. His mom. Would Dark Stripe be on here, or would he be on the tabby? Acorn Fur. Lightning Tail is. Her brother is. He's black, right? Where's the black ones? Black. Ravenpaw, I think, is under the black and white. And Barley's gonna be on this. Spot Fur would be gray and white, right? Gray tabby. Wait, where is Spot Fur? Gray and white tabby. Okay, I see. Ash Fur. Dovewing, she would be gray. Twig Branch is gray. Bristle Frost is gray. Swiftpaw is a black and white. Stormfur is gray. Well, it would help if I spelled Stormfur right. Featherpaw should be on this one too, right? And Stone Kit and Moss Kit. No, she's gray and white, but Mistyfoot would be on here, right? She's gray. Firestar. Fern Cloud. Brindle. Face. Thrift Ear. Ivy Pool is the gray and white tabby. Tulip and Elder Kit. I think they're both gray, right? Tulip Kit and Elder Kit? Yeah. Soot Kit? Or Soot Fur and Rain Whisker as well. Morning Kit. She'd be like a ginger, right? Holly Kit and Larch Kit are both brown tabbies. Briarlight is brown. She would be in the Briarlight. Moopaw and Shrewpaw is brown, right? Spider Leg. Holly Kit, Morning Kit, Ivy Pool, Willow Pelt we've gotten. Gray, Small Ear, Rockfall, Stormtail. What about Stone Pelt? Sorrel Stripe. It's chronological order within colors, yes. Hazeltail, Mouse Whisker. They're gray and white. But Berry Nose and Daisy are cream. Where's the cream ones? Also Dawn Paw, Flame Paw, Tiger Star. Rose Petal, I think, maybe? Mole Whisker, Cherry Fall, Sun Kit, Hazel Kit, and Oak Kit. What's Oak Kit under? Brown and white tabby. Green Eyes? She's a gray tabby, right? Yeah. Morning Star? Yeah. Let's see. Violet Dawn? She should be gray, right? Seed Paw and Seed Pelts. Oh. Let's see. Brown tabby would be Stripe Bark. Feathertail we've gotten. Songbird. Leaf Pool. Swift Breeze. Grassfoot. Grassfoot would be under black, right? Yeah. Fuzzy Pelt. Eagle Storm and Windflight and Squirrel Whisker. Thunderstar. Shy Kit. Puff Kit. Leap Kit. Fern Stripe. I think Leap Kit's black and white, right? Yeah. And then Toad Step is Kestrel Wing. Stone Flower. Hazel Frond should be a tortie, right? Yeah. Along with Nettle Sting. And Spotted Pelt. Feather Ear as well should be a tortie. Then Lightning Tail, Lightning Stripe, Thunderstar. Did we get Thunderstar? We did. Lark Song? Yes. She's a tortoise shell. Maple Shade. Patch Kit. Petal Kit. I think we already got Larch Kit. Spotted Leaf. Sweet Paw. Is Sweetbriar? Poppy Dawn? Poppy Frost is one. And Sorrel Tail. And Dapple Tail. Tawny Pelt. Moonpaw, yes. Did we get Morning Kit? Okay. Dawn Feather with Nettle Breeze. Less all white. Cloud Tail. Where's the all whites? There they are. White Wing. Ice Cloud. White Storm. Snow Kit. Snow Kit. Snow Bush. Soul. Oh, Soul's a good one. Shelfer, Poppy Frost I've gotten, Sorrel Tail. Did we have Fern Stripe? Okay, we did. Frost Fur. Red Tail's tortie as well. Yes, you are correct. Who's between Frost Fur and Cloud Tail? Oh, Feather Kit. And Cricket Kit. Get her sibling too while you're at it. Other white ones. We need Cloudberry, Freckle Pelt, Pink Eyes, Thistle, Clover, Milkweed, Amber Moon, and Dew Nose. Might as well get all of them. Honey Fur and Honey Fern. Honey Fern is a brown tabby? Whatever, man. Finleap and Flipclaw's a brown tabby. What about Fern Song? Is he ginger? We also need Golden Paw. Lynx Kit, I think. White Star? Yeah, there's 2 white stars. That might be the last. Okay, we're done with whites. Combo colors, I believe that Bracken Fur and Thornclaw are on there. Gray and white tabby. Snaptooth is ginger. Fly Whisker? No. Feather Whiskers Gray. We need Sunstar as well while I'm thinking about it. Honey Fern. Yeah, I always make Honey Fern like a honey color, right? So Fern Moon Whisker I've gotten. Bright Heart. Did we get Cinderpelt and Yellow Fang? Broken Tail. Leopard Foot. Patch Pelt. Moonflower. Daisy Toe. Goose Feather. Rooktail. Oat Speckle. Prickle Face. I think he's brown, right? Look, we're almost done with the grays, but there's some, so we need Sleek Fur, Snail Shell, Apple Blossom, U-Tail, Gooseberry. Yeah, we missed that. Oh, Cloud Spots, thank you. Ginger and White Tabby. I don't think that there's any difference, but apparently there is, according to Spiderwing. How many brown tabbies are missing? Gorse Claw, get in there. They are OG. Spark Pelt's Ginger. What about Alderheart? Is he on there? We need Juniper Kit and Dandelion Kit. Dandelion Kit. Nightheart. I got Daisy. Pine Star. Adderfang. Blue Star's Gray. Pear Nose. What about Fallow Paw? Beach Fur, Pine Claw, Featherwing, Fennel Dust, and Skunk Paw. Pear Nose, Stormtail we've gotten. Goose Feather and Moonflower we've gotten. Cody's a good one. She'd be... oh, and Purdy. We need Purdy as well. What about Loki, Zelda, Minty, Jessie, Stormcloud? Oakstar would be brown. Purdy, Feather Whisker, Dust Pelt, we definitely need. Running Wind, Mouse Fur, Longtail. 2 after, oh, we need Brambleclaw. And then Berry Fall, Nettle Sting. Berry Fall, I think, is a Windclan cat, but I think we still need Rough Pelt, probably. Velvet, we need Fog Drift. Fuzzball. Song Kit, Alder Branch, Pale Paw. She's gray. We also need Owlpaw was... We are doing a quiz. This is a quiz based on every ThunderClan cat by their pelt color. And by pelt colors, they're organized chronologically. So this gray tabby is above Green Eyes, who's a coat of the clans. Freckle Pelt. One Eye. Half Tail. Small Ear I've gotten. I think I don't have Speckle Tail. Lynx Kit I got. Did we get Leaf Pool? We did. I don't think we've gotten Squirrel Star yet. Or Jay Feather. Or Lion Blaze. Juniper and Dandelion I've gotten. We need Flicker Kit though. And I think we need Finch Light. Morning Star we've gotten. Oat Whisker. We also need Lion Star, Finch Star, Daisy Tail, Daisy Heart, Thistle Tail, Vine Tail, and Vine Star, I believe. Eagle Wing's a good one, and Plumstone. Do we need Stem Leaf and Stem Tail? Bristle Claw. Finchlight I've gotten. Do Holly Leaf? We still needed Holly Leaf. Sorrel Stripe we've gotten, but did we get Holly Tuft? No. Maple Shade we've gotten. Lily Heart we've gotten. Wasp. Waffle Paw as well. Sunbeam's a good one. I tend to forget switchers, clan switchers. Shine Paw? Still needed Shine Paw. Okay, so for black, I believe Night Kit and Mist Kit we're missing. There's one between Rooktail. I think that's Holly Pelt. Bristle Frost, Minty, Tawny Pelt. We've gotten. We're missing... Is there another black cat in Stormplant's Folly? Birch Face, Flower Paw. And then is there another black cat? Oh yeah, Ravenwing. Blossom Fall's a good one. I don't think we've gotten Bumble Stripe yet either. Or did we get Toadstep? Yeah, we did for black and white. Who's the other black and white in between Minty and Leap Kit? Violet Shine? Oh yeah, it's Violet Kit. Okay, good call, good call. We're also missing Leaf Shade, I think, and Honeyfur? No. Soul? We've gotten Soul. We're missing Shivering Rose and Hazelburrow. And I think we're missing Morning Fire. Bloomheart. Tumbletail? Broken Tail? We've gotten Tumbletail. That's the black cat we're missing. We're also missing a black and white cat above Patch Pelt and Skunk Paw. So this is like... Oh, Little Step. Okay. Good call, good call. And then we're missing a gray cat. So we have Thrush Talon, Rabbit Fur, Mist Pelt. Okay. Mallow Fur. And we're missing somebody in between Featherwing and Seed Pelt. So this gray cat might be in StormClan's Folly. Brook, Nettleclaw, Amberclaw, Red Star, Shrew Paw. We're missing Doe Star and Deer Paw. And I think we're missing Deer Dapple. Mossheart? Nice. Good call, Agnolia. We're also missing a Ginger Tabby up. Rosebush, for sure. Rose Tail as well. We're missing Rose Tail. Do we have Poppy Dawn? We do. We need Golden Flower and Lionheart. I think those are both Ginger Tabbies. I had all the StormClan cats memorized for 3 weeks. Yeah. Stoneflower we've gotten. Oat Speckle. Curl Kit. I don't think Curl Kit and Russet Kit actually have descriptions, so they're not in here. But Fawn Pelt does, and Fern Whisper does. Shine Flower. I think she's RiverClan. Cherry Fall's a good one. I got her, though. Sunstar. Foxleap. After Lion Blaze, for sure. There's a Ginger Tabby that's born in between Firestar and Lion Blaze. Is it Rowan Star? Yeah. And then a Ginger Tabby between Golden Flower and Firestar. Oakfur? Berryfall was Wind Clan. Oakstar we've gotten. Oakstar. Fogdrift we've gotten. Sweet Briar. Shine Cloud? Fallow Song? Heron Wing? Stag Leap. I think he's a gray tabby. Clover we've gotten. Shell Fur, Shell Claw is a gray tabby. Sandstorm, good call. I always forget that she's like not a cream cat or something, you know. Sweet Paw we've gotten. We need Thistle Claw still. And Rabbit Fur and Rabbit Leap and Hair Pounce. Did we get Hair Pounce? No, we did not. We're still missing a brown tabby that's probably like, well, that's kind of Battles of the Clans, right? Bird Flight? Okay, awesome. Hazel Frond, I believe we've gotten her. Jessie, I think we've gotten her. We're missing... Oh, Yarrow Flight's above Stripebark because he's a elder. And then a brown tabby... Is there another brown tabby in StormClan's Folly? Bumblefoot, Weed Whisker, Flame Nose, and Flash Nose. Good call. We're missing gray tabbies in between Feathertail and Jay Feather. Millie is definitely one of them. Milkweed. We've gotten Grassfoot. We've gotten Milkweed. And we're missing a multicolored cat that's maybe like... This is weird. This could be a lot of things, because it could be a Waffle Pelt Pale Paw. We've gotten Fern Cloud, gotten Ash Fur, Half Tail we've gotten. We're also missing Green Eyes we've gotten. Finch Star? Gotten. U-Tail we've gotten. Gray and White, I think that Quick Water is above Rough Pelts. And then Snowfur. Snowfur is under Gray and White as well. Freckle Wish. She's under Ginger. Leaf Storm. She's under Ginger. Quail Paw doesn't have a pelt color. We're also missing a combo color that's born after Thornclaw. Windflight. Robin Wing. Fuzzy Pelt. Rainfur. Rainfur's Ginger and White. Blue Whisker. Fallow Paw? No. A Ginger and White tabby that's born after Alderheart as well. Seed Paw, Lily Heart. We've gotten Snowbush, Amber Moon. We've gotten Snap, Stim, Thrift, Bayshine. Awesome. Myrtle Bloom. We need Myrtle Bloom as well. Rough Pelt. Morning Fire's brown. Oat Speckle I've gotten. Thriftier I've gotten. Maybe? Plumstone? Okay. We're missing... This is a weird one. Stem Leaf. I believe we've gotten... Yeah, we have Stem Leaf and we have Stem Tail somewhere in here. Maybe? Yeah, we've gotten him somewhere. I think he's just Ginger, right? Nettleclaw. I've gotten Leaf Shade and Honey Fur. Did I get Flicker Kit? I did, okay. Are Changing Skies characters on this? Yes, they are. Daisy Heart? Yes, we've gotten her. And a multicolored after Dostar as well. What's the difference between a multicolored and a combination colored? Hello? Who's between Brightheart and Weed Whisker? That's a ginger cat. Not sure. Bristle Claw we've gotten. Did we get Grey Whisker? Okay, we didn't get Grey Whisker though. We got Spot Fur? Yeah. Then it's somebody between Daisy Toe and Snow Fur that's not Moonflower. That's a gray and white. Lion Star we've gotten. And then somebody, a multicolored-ish character from Flash Nose. No, we've gotten Flash Nose. And we're missing a gray tabby. We're not missing Bumblestripe, are we? No, he's born after Jay Feather. Daisy? Eagle Storm? Brooke? Emberdawn? No. Shivering Rose I've gotten. Songbird I've gotten. And then somebody between Darkstripe and Feathertail. So this is like... Not Yellowfang, right? Yeah. How are we doing on gray cats? Okay, we've gotten all the grays. We've got one brown tabby that's missing. Yeah, between Millie and Jay Feather, that's like a... Oh, Gorseclaw and Lizardtail. We've definitely gotten Gorseclaw because there's a Gorseclaw from ThunderClan, but Lizardtail is definitely one we still need. We got Flametail. We've gotten Flamepaw and Dawnpaw, yes. Fog Drift we've gotten. She's under the gray cats. We're missing a brown tabby that is before Birchface. So this could be a Stormplan's Folly cat. Pink Eyes we've gotten. Golden Paw we have gotten. Thistleclaw we've gotten. He's a gray and white. He might be a gray and white tabby. Yeah, he's a gray and white tabby. Cinderheart? I think you're right. I don't think we have Cinderheart. Okay, that's the one between Millie and Jay Feather. Golden Leaf is WindClan. Snaptooth. Hi, Dia. There's a brown cat between Fallow Song and Hair Pounce that we haven't gotten yet. Help us out. B-Tail is such a pull, Agnolia. That is definitely the brown tabby we were missing. Okay, so we're good with all these. We still need a gray tabby between Darkstripe and Feathertail. Brindleface. Tawny Spots we definitely haven't gotten yet. Stagleap. Willowpelt. Mumblefoot. Okay, awesome. Dia got us with that one. Coming in clutch. And then the gray tabby between Feathertail and Darkstripe. So this is like... It's we've got an Elder Kit and Tulip Kit, right? Lost Heart. No. Mistle Kit. Yes! Okay. And then we're missing a ginger cat that's born after Thistle but before Lion Star. Beach Tail, I think. Yes. And we're missing somebody that's a gray and white cat that's born between Daisy Toe and Snowford. Yeah, this is definitely your area of expertise. Shellclaw. I think I've gotten Patch Pelt Beach. I think I've gotten all of the Dawn of the Clans cats. I don't know what multicolor even means. But it's probably like Prickleface. Do we have Moonflower? Yes. Malifer? No, we've gotten Malifer. And we're missing a ginger and white between Weed Whisker and Brightheart. Cherry Paw is definitely that ginger and white that we were missing. Chestnut Kit is I actually got chestnut kit already for some reason, but I didn't get cherry paw. That's really weird. They were missing a ginger between Amber Moon and Eagle Wing. This one's interesting. It's not Spark Pelt. Beetle Whisker, Thunderstar. We got Thunderstar. We have Maple Shade. Thank you for checking. We do tend to forget, like, the obvious ones around here. Fern Song? Nope, we got Fern Song. I think he's a ginger tabby. Is it someone who visits? Do we have Storm Clown? Is it Fuzzball? Petal, Daisy Heart, Foxleap. Amber Moon is born at the end of Omen of the Stars. And Eagle Wing is born in between A Vision of Shadows. So Fern Song's the only one that's ginger around that time. And I tried Fuzzball. Princess? I don't think she ever technically is part of ThunderClan. We have Cody, right? Yeah. Rose Petal? I've gotten Rose Petal. She's cream. We got Eagle Storm. I got the Squills. I got the Squiggles. Frankie. There's Jessie, Minty, Finleap. Rosebush we've gotten. Cherry Fall. No, it's not Cherry Fall. Jessie. It's not Jessie. Shoot. There's Lark, Leaf, and Honey. And it's not Honeyfur, right? And then there's Twig. Sunrise. I forgot about the freaking Hawk, Flurry, Sunrise, and Snow. Oh my god, you're right, you're right, you're right. Echoing, you got us. We're missing 2 now. We're just missing these 2. This multicolored between Oat Speckle and Owlstar. And this gray and white cat. Tempest. Velvet. We've gotten Velvet. Okay, so let's see. Dawn of the Code of the Clans. I think we've gotten all the Code of the Clans at this point. This isn't a prequel, because Oat Speckle is born before Maple Shade's Vengeance. It's not Rabbit Fur, right? Yeah. And it's not Dawnflower. Multicolored. Moss Heart. Beach Fur. Moth Whisker. Moth Whisker. Okay, we're just missing the one between Daisy Toe and Snowfur. That's a gray and white. Bloom Heart? No. Ivy Pool? Okay. Snowfur is born at the beginning of Blue Star's Prophecy. Daisy Toe is Daisy Paw and Pine Star's Choice. So, this is like a Goose Feather's Curse type person, right? And it's not like Stag Leap, Heron Wing. Oh goodness gravy. Goose Feather? It's not Goose Feather, right? Sheeptail. Acorn Fur. Plum Willow. One Eye. No. This is a gray and white cat. Is it like Cricket Kit, Feather Kit, Mist Kit, Night Kit, Moss Kit? It's Moss Kit! No, it's not Moss Kit. Ah! Feather Whisker, Shimmer Belt, Darktail, Birch Feather. No. We're gonna feel very stupid. Oh no. Okay. Wait a second. I'm mad. I'm mad. You're gonna tell me that this cat right here is under the gray and white tag on that quiz? This cat right here that's light brown and white. You're gonna tell me that that was on the quiz? Spiderwing, we need to have a talk here. We need to have a talk. Sandy Gray. Sandy Brown. No. Make him multicolored. Make him multicolored. He does not belong on the gray and white tag. I'm gonna call BS on this. No, we're not okay with this. Nah, we fail the quizzes all the time. Especially when we get to hard ones like that. Can I speak to the manager? Yeah, if anything that's multicolored. Don't pee me off. Don't piss me off. That boy is brown. Everyone has agreed to draw him brown. #1 rage bait. Spiderwing is the best with rage bait. Spiderwing gets us all the time, man. One day I will speak to Spiderwing in person. We live in the same state. We live at maximum like 40 minutes away from each other. I will talk to them at one point in my life. My very short life. Not very short. Well, in regards to the entire universe, it's very short, but... perspective is everything. Don't forget the poster. Thank you, Yuna. Okay, I'll be right back, you guys. I need to go grab my laptop from downstairs. So I can post that stupid Super Edition poster that I've been holding hostage for absolutely no reason. Yuna's my hostage negotiator. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. With my laptop. Time to put... well, I don't think anyone's going to steal the Super Edition poster from me, so I don't have to put a copyright on it. Watch them steal the Super Edition poster now that I said that. Did the music die when I was gone? How typical. Disappointing. No, I want the Omori music. I like the Undertale Omori Deltarune track that we listen to every once in a while. Holy crap, I have 3 messages on... holy crap. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to... wait, hold on. Dia, I'm gonna snapshot something and send this to you. Also, Dia, do you wanna, like, hang out after stream and, like, do stuff? I wanna ask you some questions. Okay, I'm posting it. I'm posting it. I need to do Warrior Cats, a Starless Clan. I'll probably end at 6 like I usually do and then eat dinner and then probably we can hang out after that. Okay. Did you read the thing I just sent you? Is that not crazy? I just got that message on my Tumblr. What should I name this? Like, because I usually... Okay, I'm posting it right now. What do I usually... Yeah. I'll just do Yellowfang Secret. Crooked Stars, Promise. And Blue Stars. Prophecy. Hopefully they're not next to us. That's creepy. Okay, so I'm just gonna tag this as Super Editions. And then do the Warrior Cats tag. And then do the Super... Do the tags for all of the books. And then do my pick tag. And then post. Alrighty, that's posted. My art block. There it is. Dun, da, da, da. Posted. Alrighty. Okay. The Pine Star headshot on this poster. See you, Maple. Sorry about that. Sorry for the wait, you guys. Do you know that one Fireball gif everyone sings in the work? Yeah, Firelo can save our clan. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you should definitely. But you should make it with your own headshot. What does Pine Star look like in this one? Oh yeah, he looked like that. I need to add these headshots to my family tree. I need to work on the magnum opus. I want a little bit of the bush to be poking out behind the tree here, just to give it a little bit more depth. And then I fixed Molepaw. Alrighty, now let's just add this. If I can get the refined sketch of the whole entire background done today, I will feel like I've accomplished something. Magnum Opus family tree stream. They would basically be like the headshot poster streams, because I want to do headshots for all of my family tree guys eventually. In my mind, I would love to have a giant, like, 4x3 poster with every single headshot on it. But like I said, you can't really do that with Warrior Cats because they keep coming out with books. So it would never be completely updated to be able to do something like that. The best I've been able to come up with was like the headshot arc posters. See ya, Dixie. How to draw random stuff? What do you mean? Like randomly, like stuff that looks random? Or just like how to draw a car tire or something like that? How do animators figure out subjects from so many angles? That is what the character model sheet is for. That is something that I work on in the Werecat animated server under the style team. We figure out the angles for animators to be able to reference while they're doing shots. I'm trying to think, because at this point in the picture, I don't think you would be able to see... I don't think that you would be able to see any of, like, the dimensionality of the cubes. Like, I don't think you're going to see this. I think this would be, like, straight on, but at the same time... It feels like you should be able to see maybe just like the briefest little tiny bit of it. I'd love to apply for Werecat background artists. What do you look for in the portfolio? So I actually can tell you that because I am the assistant background director. So I do help the background director choose who gets accepted when we open applications. Typically what we're looking for is when we send out applications for the background team, we have a style test. So if you do like the style test with the background, with the tutorial sort of reference material we've given you, we really appreciate when people do that. We're definitely looking for portfolios that have like forest backgrounds and like natural backgrounds in them. We've had people apply to be background artists that have a portfolio full of layouts that are just like interiors and cities and stuff like that, and it doesn't give us a good judge on if you can actually like draw a natural looking background. So it's nice to have some natural looking backgrounds in your portfolio. We're looking for a good use of color and a like a nice understanding of like how to paint and like create atmosphere in your paints. And we also are hoping, I mean, it would be nice to have examples of layouts that were done specifically for film and animation. because illustrating a background for an illustration like this and creating a background for an animation are slightly different in a way. Like setting the stage and stuff like that. See a dark leaf? But the main things we're looking on is if you do the test, if you do some test examples, or even just like study the material that we've given you for reference and try to like break down that stuff and like show us your ability to replicate the style. And then I also look for people who have experience creating complex layouts for like complex camera movements and such, because it helps to have like some basic knowledge of like how to create a layout that will also be used for like pans or parallaxes and stuff like that. Basically, make sure that your portfolio has examples of backgrounds with trees, and you can do like some test backgrounds in the style with the material that's given to you when applications open. That's like the main things we look for. And like a good color theory background, or like a decent understanding of color theory. I would say. I can't speak for any of the other departments. The only department I help pick out applications for is the background department. And if you get in, you will be critiqued by yours truly. Get to listen to both Nifty and Taylor at the same time. What an honor. Truly. Yeah, I think I want to keep the background of this area like simple-ish. This is like a very not tall quarry, but it's okay. And then I want this to be like bushes and stuff, because they kind of act like the quarry is concealed by bushes and such. Like people sometimes run into it. Well, not people, but you know what I mean, like cats. They also act like there are boulders and stuff that can come loose from the wall, but I don't know if I can like properly show that. I'm surprised that the high ledge hasn't fallen yet, but I will say that my style that I do backgrounds in on this channel, like for these illustrations, has become more and more like Warrior Cat Animated like. So a lot of the like thoughts that I have when I'm like doing style, when I'm doing backgrounds, are the same like sort of thoughts that I'll have when I'm doing Warrior Cat Animated backgrounds. But the styles are slightly different, but overall I feel like when I'm talking about why I'm doing something, I'm usually doing that also when I do Warrior Cat Animated backgrounds. I want to simplify the bushes up here because they're so far in the background. So like limit the amount of like individual leaves that show up. I think it would be a good thing. Limiting the amount of detail will make them feel further and further away, I think. And shrinking the line art, but I also want there to be some, like, I like it when I can hide roots as much as I can, because I hate drawing roots, basically. Yep, Firestar and Sandstorm are right here. So the thing about that, Eevee, is that I don't think a lot of people realize that Little Dragon Studios specifically did a couple of things. I would say they did a couple of faux pas when they were creating their episode. The first thing they did was they asked for permission to do it after it had already almost been done. They specifically emailed the team and asked them if it was okay for them to make a word-for-word copy of the original book. The other thing that they did was that they literally put in the trailer of their series the official Warrior Cats Into the Wild, like Warrior Cats Animated Into the Wild or whatever. They put official in the title, which is the stupidest thing that they could have done ever, because it's not official. It was a fan project. If you get into the background team, the background team handles painting and doing the line art / layout. So yes, if you're applying for the background team, you're applying for both. We do have people in the team that prefer one or the other. Like, we have people that prefer, like, pick up a lot more painting assignments, and we have people that pick up a lot more layout assignments. But the team handles both. The goal would be to have every single team member be able to do both. So when you think about stuff like that, and the fact that SSS Warrior Cats is still up, and my 4th Apprentice is still up, all of my 4th Apprentices, my Dark Path Chosen is still up, etc., etc., I don't think that the quote-unquote issue with copyright is as drastic as people make it seem like. Does that make sense? They basically held Kulabi hostage and gave them and asked explicitly for their permission on a fan project. The thing is that the symbiotic relationship between Warrior Cats and the fandom that fuels it, Kulabi understands this, right? They understand that we would not be here without the books, but they would not be here without us. So there's some unspoken agreement around here, you know? I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna line this far background. I think I'm just gonna have it painted. It's just so far in the back. The errands are not strict about copyright at all. But when you literally sit down and email them and tell them that you're going to be making a word-for-word recreation of an animated adaptation on YouTube and have labeled it as the official thing, and they have technically sold the copyright rights to Tencent, but Tencent is such a big company that I genuinely don't think that they really give a crap if people are fan animating the books. I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, you sit down and tell them that, and they're obviously going to say no, because you don't have the right to do it, but Warrior Cat Animated is a volunteer project. None of us work for pay. We're all just, like, passion Warrior Cat fans that want to do it, so on how to draw plants and trees, definitely don't think of them as plants and trees. Think of them, their shapes. So they're basic shapes. That's one of the main things I tell people is when you're sketching sketch the shapes. Like this is my fern shape, right? This is... So I can just keep drawing this like heart shape. And then you can add details in. Don't think of them as ferns. Break down everything into shapes. You saw like how I did the bushes right here. Do you see my initial sketch for the bushes? They're shapes, and then these are guidelines to see like volume, right? Like these right here. This was me like doing the volume of it. And then I start sketching out the shapes based on the volume, and I'm doing these like woven things to kind of like also showcase the volume, stuff like that. So start with like shapes, and then don't get caught up in the details until you start rendering it out. Don't be like, okay, I'm gonna draw roots now. Think like, okay, I'm drawing a bunch of things. The other thing I see people do with trees a lot are, you have to remember, and this is with the case of many trees, is that trees don't get bigger when they don't get like this with the bushes. If they're getting bigger like this, you need to start splitting up the branches. And every single branch is going to have a smaller volume than the next one. So branches don't suddenly just get bigger than the one that they broke off of. I catch people on that all the time. Or like, they'll make the trunk go like this. I don't know. They'll make it look like this. And then I won't, if I can't visually see the break, it looks weird, right? I posted the poster. It's on my art blog. It's on niftysenpai.tumblr.com. With plants, honestly, less is more with plants, in my opinion. It can get very busy very quickly when you're adding, like this is pretty busy right here, right? This sketch. So when I line it, I'll probably simplify it up because it'll read better to like unclump them. Like how this one has all of its lines. Like you can clearly see where each individual plant is going. I don't know. I do the heart shape a lot. Or like the thick shape. Give them a little plumpiness. I see a lot of people make plants stick straight up. Ferns do stick straight up like this, but it feels a little bit unnatural to me, so I tend to like droop down, like these right here, they're sticking up a lot. I tend to try to droop them down a little bit more. Like I'll probably droop that down. And you have to think of them like a piece of paper. You can get a piece of paper and you can like fold it. Do you have, if you're struggling? But that's a personal preference. Plants do like poke up like this. I just try to limit the amount that are just sticking straight up like this because it feels like unnatural to me personally. I also try to change up where the branches are in the trees. Like this one right here, I'm not going to do that to this one right here because that looks unnatural. These look too like similar. So maybe if I wanted to change up the shape a little bit, I can have this one go up like this. Oh, my ad blocker. Yeah, I don't add leaves to the first sketch. It complicates the volume for me a little bit too much. I don't start adding them until I know exactly how big I want the bush to look like. I do these like volume lines right here to help me like visualize what the branch looks like as well. These are what the volume lines. These aren't like final lines. They're just to like gauge. I'm only good at doing, I'm only like okay at breaking down how I'm thinking while I'm drawing backgrounds because I've done a lot of critiques on them for Warrior Cats Animated. So learned to understand the way that I'm thinking while I'm drawing, so I can portray it to other members of my team so that we can like draw more cohesively together, I suppose. I'm not very confident in my critiques, which is my main issue, is that I feel like I don't know, I could be more confident. Okay, so this sketch right here, I wanted this to maybe be a bundle of ferns, but I'm wondering if it would look cute as like a mossy rock type thing, now that I think about it. Instead. Well, the problem is Dovewing is gray, so in front of it, it's gonna be like a gray rock in front of Dovewing, so... It's hard for me to draw on my simple iPad. Yeah, I can't draw on the iPad. That's why I don't have a Drawly. I mean, I have a laptop with a tablet that connects to it, but I don't draw on the tablet. My tablet, I think I got it when it was like, I think I got it for $100 when it was on sale. It's usually like 200, I think. I guess I am just gonna make this a nice bundle of ferns. These ones will be slightly more detailed though, because they're like closer than this batch. Although they are behind Dovewing, so I do want to balance it because, yeah, like, I'm trying to think if I want, what do I want to do here? I definitely want there to be something that breaks up the background that maybe even goes above Brightheart, just to give it a little bit more of depth. Yeah, I don't know how expensive iPads are nowadays, but like, even though I have a pretty cheap tablet, like my tablet was $100, my actual setup is not cheap because I have an entire... I bought a MacBook Pro, but you don't need a MacBook Pro, and you don't need a MacBook. I just prefer MacBooks because I like their screen. And I think that they run Adobe programs decent enough. Yeah, people that draw with mouses are they're on another plane than us. We can never hope to understand them. See, I don't want this to be touching her, I don't think. I don't know, does that look too perfect for it to be like right next to them though? That's an interesting dilemma. But I don't really want it to be... The mouse MS Paint combo. We all start with mouse MS Paint, but the true heroes are the ones that stay with mouse MS Paint. Yeah, I guess I want to. I might be able to kind of hide it behind her. I used to be able to draw with my finger on the phone. I was never able to do that. Those people are also very powerful. And I could never best them in a fight. My brother's a whole nother breed of being an artist. Artists come in all different shapes and sizes. I know, Agnolia. I was thinking about you. I was like, I'm pretty sure Agnolia still uses, like, their phone to draw. I'm pretty sure A uses, like, they just draw with their finger as well, which is crazy. I think that A has, like, a tablet, though. Hey, Nightmare. I used to draw on my mother's phone. Yeah. I never really had, like, when I started learning to draw, the only option for me was either trackpad, mouse, or, I mean, it wasn't feasible for me as, like, a 14-year-old kid to beg my parents for, like, a $1,000 tablet. So it was, like, a drawing tablet that plugs in. And since I learned how to draw on it, I've never given it up. But I used to scan in pictures. I would sketch, scan them in, and line them with the vector tool in GIMP. That was like the first time when I started to like really try drawing digitally. But I would still like sketch it and then scan it in or take a picture of it or whatever. My cat is sleeping on me. Yeah, if your cat's sleeping on you, you can't do anything. Sorry, that's like the rules. That's like the #1 rule of being a cat owner. If the cat is sleeping on me, I can't get up. Please understand. Thank you. If I had a portable drawing tablet I could use in my bed, I'd be unstoppable. Yeah, that's pretty much the #1 reason I have a laptop and tablet combo, because I can draw in bed. If I'm not drawing at my desk like I am for streaming, I'm either on the bed or on the couch. I could save a little money and get an Android tablet. Yeah, you could. I mean, Clip Studio Paint is Procreate iPad only. Clip Studio Paint, I think that the tablet version is not it's a subscription though, isn't it? Which is unfortunate. No, I liked my first sketch. It's $30 with ads for free. Like a month? Or just $30 period? $30, 30 hours period. Can you imagine only drawing for 30 hours a month? I think I'd go insane. $1 a month isn't too bad though. Can you pay for it like yearly? Like, I feel like you might be able to, if you're like a kid, you might be able to like ask your parents to pay for it for like Christmas or something. Let me get the cats back in here. I like putting the paths in the camps because I feel like it breaks up the grass sections, but it also feels like it's been walked on. Now, I didn't do the paths in the RiverClan camp. The RiverClan camp, I just feel like it's just the most lush camp ever, and it just looks like a perfect meadow, pristine. They probably would mow their lawn if they knew how to use lawnmowers. Just the most beautifulest thing ever. Yeah, it feels lived in. Well, the RiverClan camp was the first one I did, so I wasn't 100% sure on how I wanted to do the camps before that, but the RiverClan camp just feels so green to me. I feel like I honestly could see like Pebble Pass being in there though. Like they specifically make pebbly pass with like shells and like beautiful things on them though. I guess I could see that. Any reason? I don't know. I don't remember. I believe somebody asked me at one point if I had any reference imagery of what I think the RiverClan camp looks like. And I was like, I remember drawing it at one point. And I never finished the sketch. And so I was like, oh, I should draw it. And then I was like, well, I could make it a whole scene with like a bunch of cats in it. And then I had just read Leopard Star's Honor. So I was like, oh, I'll make it like during this time. And it kind of just went from there. You have to do the same thing with grass blades, by the way. You have to split up the amount that are in bundles because it can look very machine generated and like not natural if you don't break up the shapes of grass blades. And you guys know, if you guys know me, there's one grass blade shape that I put in almost every single one of my pictures because I'm obsessed with it. Like literally. And it's this one. With the two intercrossing. With no line art in the middle. I love this shape. I think it's the best shape ever in the whole entire world, and no one will ever take it away from me. And that's your nifty lore for the day. And that's how the Magnum Opus started. Yeah, the Magnum Opus started specifically during the Four Trees picture. I started it with Dawn of the Clans because I wanted to visualize how old all the cats were in Path of Stars because I was having a hard time visualizing the age of everybody. And so it started with Dawn of the Clans. Yeah. Don't take away my cross grass. It's very important to me on an emotional level. If I had to choose one character you like the least, probably Mothlight or Shrew-Claw. Shrew-Claw feels like it's cheating though because he's like specifically a character that you're not meant to like. Mothlight, I genuinely just hate how they wrote her. A cross-grass necklace. Don't tempt me. Okay, let's think about Lion Blaze's head here. Let's try not to intersect any of Lion Blaze's head. I don't mind crossing his neck, but keep his head clean. Then I want the grass to kind of peek out behind Hollyleaf's head a little bit. Having grass blades go over things, like making some grass blades go over this piece of fern will help cement the fern to be on the ground as well. It can start to seem like they're floating if you don't have any, like, grass blades. Like how I have it right here. Or, like, right here. Well, this is difficult because leaf pools. Hand is right there, so I have to be careful. See ya, Evelyn. I'm glad I'm not the only one who got irked by Mothlight's vision. It's such a bad book. It's my least favorite book, hands down. There's like no other contender for my least favorite book. It's just Mothlight's vision. That book, I can't, man. I've read it 3 times. It got progressively worse every time I read it. The first time I read it, I was like, this is fine. It's not until the second time you read it that you realize how much like hypocrisy you did not catch until the next read through. When you, like, know where the plot is gonna go and you're like, wow, it's really ironic that Mothlight is getting pissed. Or Mothlight is... I don't know, man. I don't like her. Yeah, Squirrelflight's Hope, that's my second least favorite book. I've only read it once, though, so... I haven't read it yet for being put into the magnum opus, so who knows? It might piss me off more than Mothlight's Vision. I don't care much for Jayfeather. Says the person that's name is JJ. That's very ironic. I'm so sorry if you chose your username before you read Warriors. I think Squirrelflight's Hope for me is just such a nihilistic and depressing book that has no real purpose to it other than just to mangle and make characters suffer and to it's yeah, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, that they never fixed either, October. I hate how everyone is characterized. I hate the sisters. I hate how the fandom treats the book. I hate the bursting. Yeah, Winter, I completely understand. I agree with all of those things. I hate how everyone is characterized in that book. The Sparkpelt's bursting is one of the saddest and most, like, depressing crap that I've ever read in Warriors, and it serves no purpose. Like, there's no payoff for it. It's literally just there to make people suffer. They spoiled that they killed off a major character in it. Major faux pas. I hope that they never do it again. There's the ableism that happens with Sandstorm in StarClan, which is so stupid, and it's so tone deaf that they said they would fix and they never did. The book is so detached from the rest of the series, in my opinion, that it's not even... I don't even know. Yeah, those two books are definitely, like... I think I just have stronger feelings towards Mothlight's Vision because I do really like Dawn of the Clans, and it's tied with my favorite series of all of Warriors, and I really liked the characters in the book, and Mothlight's Vision does a terrible job at, like, making those characters feel like the authors actually like writing them. I think that's a major thing that needs to happen. A Warrior Cats book needs to feel like the author actually likes writing the character that they're writing. And Mothlight's Vision and Squirrelflight's Hope doesn't I don't feel like that. It feels like the book was made out of spite. Mothlight is also terrible in Squirrelflight's Hope as well, by the way. Not my Sandstorm, yeah, exactly. We try not to be super negative on this channel, though. I try to think of the positives. So... I feel like sometimes having, like, the angry rant is good every once in a while, but I prefer to keep it, like, every once in a while, just because overall I don't think it I don't think it helps my mood a lot to, like, focus on negativity. I suppose. But I have only read Squirrelflight's Hope once, and it is getting very close to... I will be reading it again very soon for the magnum opus, so we will see. I've only read it once, and I was not impressed with it. I think changing artists for each of the graphic novel adaptations is a fantastic idea, and I was already under the impression that they would be doing that. I can't tell you why, though. Saying in my head that Squirrelflight's Hope and Mothlight's Vision isn't canon. Yeah. No, they won't announce who the Power of Three graphic artist that they pick is until probably... or I would say it's gonna be early 2027 when we will know who they've picked for the Power of Three one. Because the first two books are gonna come out next year, and then the third book will come out at the beginning of 2027. And then they'll announce the next artist. I'm gonna do like a full-on bush here. Excuse me, oh my goodness gracious, I'm so sorry. I just had a Dr. Pepper and now I'm burping. In my rewrite, I make Pebbleheart find the Moonstone. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that wanted Pebbleheart to find the Moonstone when I was reading that book. Those Dawn of the Clan graphic novel. I'm trying hard to make it happen, you guys. I'm trying so hard. You have no idea. I'm on my hands and knees, sending out emails like I'm a real adult. Honestly, I don't even know. You want to know what I think? I don't think they're going to make a Dawn of the Clan graphic novel. I think they'll skip right from Moment of the Stars to A Vision of Shadows. That's what I think. I know, Pebbleheart had visions in Dawn of the Clans. %of the prequel family trees. Fair enough. Fair enough. Get some bushes and some fern actions going in there. Get some overlap on the top of that one. Let's see. Let's get rid of the cat sketches. If you got offered to make a graphic novel, would you accept it? Yes. I don't care if I would be underpaid and overworked. Do you know, I feel like if I get the graphic novel artist job, I will feel like that would be my real magnum opus. You know what I feel? You know, like it would feel like part of my life's purpose has been fulfilled. It sounds so stupid to say that about a freaking graphic novel for Warrior Cats, but I would feel like it would be a nice little like crown on the top of my like Warrior Cat pile, you know, in my brain. I'd be like, hey, look, Ma, I made it, you know, stuff like that. No, I'm toning down all the romance. All romance is cut. We get no romance. No one falls in love with each other. Yeah, I posted the prequel super edition. It's on my art blog. I can reblog it to the main blog one sec, or not main blog. I can reblog it to the Warriors Project. Give me a sec. But this is the thing, right, you guys? It's so stupid of them not to pick popular community artists to make their graphic novels. As long as the person has like a portfolio and has a sense of like professionalism, can you imagine, it doesn't have to just be me, but can you imagine like them getting like Beffalums to do the graphic novel, like a popular name, like Ali Nya to do the freaking graphic novel. Like, that is like the smartest move they could make, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. There's too many moving parts. I'm not even sure. So I think I can say this because this happened earlier this year, and I'm pretty sure I can say this. I never had an NDA. I never had an NDA. Yes, Beth actually has like has a portfolio in working for children's books and stuff, and Julian would actually want to do that. So I was approached by somebody in the fandom. This is very vague. I was approached by somebody in the fandom that has an agent that told me that there was, they couldn't be very, they had to be very vague. But I basically was told very vaguely that they were looking for another artist for the next graphic novel set. And I was approached by somebody in the fandom that had an agent that was working with HarperCollins to get that artist. And they could not, they were asked about the opportunity and they had to pass on it. And they gave them a list of people that would probably be good for the job. And this is probably someone that you know. But, so I knew that they were looking for another artist. So I'm almost positive that they're going to be making, so I'm pretty sure it's HarperCollins that decides who's going to be the artist of the graphic novel. Like, I'm pretty sure that HarperCollins puts it out to their agents that they're looking to find an artist for this commissioned series of graphic novels, this 3-volume and all that stuff. And then the agents are matching people. So my goal would be to try to, no, don't guess. My goal would be to try to find an agent that has worked with HarperCollins, and that would be basically like a person that could intercept those offers and give them to me. But the problem is I don't have a portfolio for graphic novels, you know? I don't have any examples of graphic novel work in my portfolio. Like, I would have to have a lot more examples of, like, sequential art and stuff. No, I will not tell you who it was. So yeah. And I could imagine them wanting to do Super Edition or I could imagine them wanting to do graphic novels for single stories again as well. I think the graphic novels are just selling a lot better than the novels right now. We gotta work on that thing again. I know, Dia. I know. Dude. I gotta find an agent. I gotta make it big. Okay, I'm reblogging it to the Workout Design blog. I don't think that the graphic novels with super editions, but I could see them doing one-off stories like they did for like Thief and ThunderClan and stuff. I think that one-off stories of like villains' backstories would be a perfect thing. I mean, they did it with Rise of Scourge. I think that, and Rise of Scourge is one of the most popular graphic novels, so I don't know why they wouldn't. I don't understand why they wouldn't like capitalize on that again. With like a graphic novel backstory of like Snowtuft or Soul or Splashtail, Hawkfrost, you know? Warriors graphic novel. You know what? I should just fan make the Dawn of the Clans graphic novel. I mean, they could have made Dark Tales Judgment into a graphic novel. But the problem, I think, is that it does cost them more money to make the graphic novels, and they can't churn out the graphic novels as quick as they can do the books, I don't think. I don't think they'll ever stop making books. But if I was in charge, I would make some more graphic novels that are like standalones. Yeah, Ashford graphic novel. I don't know, like, do your novella stories, but make them into graphic novels type thing, you know? Dark Forest, yeah, you could do a Dark Forest graphic novel of, like, you could do a Hairspring one for that. Give Hairstar some more backstory. You could do the ant pelt scene. You could have him do stuff like that. I think I'm done drawing for today, you guys. I finished rendering out the sketch. The camp sketch has been cleaned. Yep, Silverhawk graphic novel. I said that they could do like a Dark Forest novella set with Snowtuft, Ashfur, and Silverhawk easily. Yeah, Juniper Claw, or I don't know. Yeah, they could do like easy. I will not be streaming on Thursday, you guys, by the way. Just FYI. I know I told you guys, but we're gonna do a quiz. So, but I'm done drawing for today. We're gonna do a quiz to finish out. No commission stream this weekend. No commissions will be open. I will be in Chicago. We got like a 6-inch dump of snow last night, and I'm like, oh god, I hope the roads are fine on Thursday. They should be. They should be fine by Thursday. But when I come back, it'll be Tuesday when I come back. Yes, Tuesday. I will stream on Tuesday. That is... So, if I do not stream on Tuesday, it means that the weather was bad enough that I couldn't drive home on Monday, by the way. So the plan is to stream on Tuesday. And looking at the weather forecast, I should be able to drive home on Monday. Yeah, sorry, Nightmare. Happy birthday, though. I hope you do have a good one. But yeah, so next Tuesday should be the next stream. If it's not, then weather did not let me drive home. And then it'll be back to regular scheduling. But yes, no commission stream and no Thursday stream this week. This is the last one for a whole week, you guys. Let's do a quiz, though. What kind of quiz do we want to do? Spider Wing? You better not do a sturdy again. What are the arc ones looking like? The first line ones are not good to do on stream. Going to Dave and Buster's. Ooh. We already did ThunderClan cats today. Should we just do... Still mad about the Thrushfeld thing? Yeah. Let's do Warrior Cats with... Oh, this one's a slow one. This one's a quick one. Animal prefix? Yeah, we could do animals. Let's do the animals ones, and then we'll do Warrior Cats with the same name. We will never forget that Thrushpelt is gray and white ever again, you guys. We learn. We learn. Allegiance only quiz. Yeah, that one is hard. I don't think we've ever finished that one on stream. Tiger, lynx, leopard, lion. I always get those together. Flicker? Flicker should. Maggot, fly. Yeah, it is. Kite, pigeon, thrush, sheep, wolf, hound, thrush, starling, raven, finch, swift, stag, deer, doe, robin, starling, raven, finch, adder, snake, snail, fox, vixen, rook, crow, midge, beetle, bat, fawn. Thank you. I always forget fawn. Dove, pigeon. Did I get pigeon? Okay. Spider, squirrel. Viper is not one. Fennel, I believe, is a plant, no? Rat, skunk, dove. We've gotten bee, wasp, weasel, stoat, trout, mole, mouse, ooh. Heron, swan, stork, trout, pike, perch, carp, pike. Did we get pike? Okay, I just did toad and frog. Minnow, eel, trout, we've gotten. Ferret's a good one, I always forget. Sunfish does not count, it's just prefix. Yeah, cricket. Oh yeah, dragonfly and duck. We need moth as well. Oh, we need goose. Otter's a good one. Weasel, stoat. Does cow count? No. Hare, rabbit, spider, fox, snail, doe. We've gotten slow, thrift, owl, hawk. No falcon though. Skunk, carp, fawn, fish. I think I've gotten all those. Badger's a good one. I've gotten bat ear. Bird, just regular bird. That's a good one. Yeah, bird. Quail, quail's a good one. Toad, we've gotten toad and frog. Dawn, we've gotten deer and doe, right? And stag, frog and toad, crow and raven. Did we get rook? We did get rook. Newt, newt's a good one. And lizard. Mutant lizard, owl, falcon. They do not count. Ferret. It's not in any order, which is the most annoying part, JB. It's literally in no order, and it sucks. I tried ferret, right? Yeah. Moose? That would be a really killer name. Shrew's a good one. Shrew. We've gotten spider, right? Yeah, spider and shrew. Thrift. Oh, we haven't gotten wren. Robin. We've gotten starling, but we haven't gotten sparrow. Jay. Jay, we need Jay. True, true. Thrift is a plant. That's what I thought. We've gotten tiger, weasel, beetle. Did we get fly? Yeah, swallow. Oh yeah, swallow, thank you. Wasp. We've gotten wasp. Bug. Oh yeah, and monkey. Turtle. Turtle. Duck. Eagle. I don't think we've gotten eagle. Bee. Monkey we've gotten. Okay, we're missing 4. Moth I've got moth and hawk now. Shark, hatch. I don't think so. Egg? Gull. Gull's a good one. Shark's a really cool prefix. Wasp we've gotten. Finish the cheetah animation. Ooh, nice job. Heron. We've gotten heron. We've gotten heron, duck, swan, goose. Bumble? No bumblebee. Buzzard. We need buzzard. Oh, goodness. Hickory is not an animal. Lynx. I've gotten lynx, tiger, leopard, and lion. Lark is a good one. Lark, lark. Rat, we've gotten rat. Hound. Lark. Oh, shoot. Usually, I'm going to tell you, usually it's a bird that we're missing. Rabbit. I got rabbit and hare. But it could be maggot. No, we've gotten maggot. Thrush. Quail. Falcon is not one. It needs to be used though. Wolf? I got wolf with sheep. I know, I wish there was an order. There is no order. It would be so much easier if there was an order. Pheasant. Pheasant. No. Pheasant. No. Parsley, pear. Ant? Oh, it was ant. Nice job, Magnolia. Chick would be a cute prefix, though. Like chicktail. Chickpea. And Magnolia with the clutch. The clutch. Okay, let's do the same name one. This one is easy. This one's in... Okay, so this one's in alphabetical order. By the way. This one's actually in alphabetical order. Hyena and shark would be peak. It would be. Hyena's a little bit... It has 3 syllables, so it's kind of hard to do as a prefix. I feel like prefixes work better if they're only 2 or less syllables. This one always cooks me. You only get 10 minutes for it. I feel like 10 minutes is not enough. Okay. Robin wing. Nutmeg. Lark wing. Not sing. Stag leap. Rabbit leap. Seed pelt. Rena. Lark wing. Lark song. Apple fur. Ash fur. Milk fur. Dark. Oh god, you guys are going so quick. We're in flight. You guys might have to repeat. Morning kit. Asherina, rain fur, white, rain fur, hawk, white star, dark star, swallowtail, sparrow pelt, tiger star, no, oh god, tiger star. I don't think sparrow pelt works because Halftail changed his name. Dove star, beach fur, birch, oh god, birch star, mole whisker, snake tooth. Not ant fur, hare flight, stag leap, tiger star, sparrow feather, rain fur, white tail, mint fur, red claw. Okay. Max. I'm going up. Do knows. Yes, it counts if, like, Mossheart... It counts if there's a Dawn of the Clans name that's the same. So, like, Do knows does work. Larch Kit. Max. Oh, yeah, there's 2 Jakes now. Velvet. There's 2 Velvets. Jack has only been used once. Morning Star. Patch Pelt. Grey Wing. Red Claw I've gotten. Nightheart. There's another there's 2 Night Stars. Red Claw I've gotten. There's 2 Owl Stars. There's 2 One Eyes. Freckle Wish. Nice call. There's a lot of... There actually should be 3 Stone Tellers on this quiz, by the way. But, whatever. Swift Star. Pale Sky. There's 2 Pike Paws. Yeah, Stone Teller's on here. And Stone Song. And Sun Pelt? Yeah. Twig? No. Vine Star? There's 2 Lilies and 2 Roses. Silver Paw, there's 2 Silver Paws, yes. Swift Paw we've gotten. Vine Star, there's... No, Mudclaw is one. And Thrush Pelt. Thrush Pelt is on this one. Did we get him? Rowan Star? I don't think so because he lost his name. Smoke Paw? No. There's some Ivy Tails, there's some Rush Tails, there's some Pounce Tails. Swift Star I've gotten. Cody, no. 2 Thistles? Yeah. And 2 Nettles. Frog? No. Fox? No. Foggy, though. There's 2 Foggies. 2 Cloud. Well, they have different names. There's one that's Cloud with Storm and Belly and Cloud with Star and Belly. There are 2 Cloudberries, though. Stick? No. Petal Kit we've gotten. Rain we've gotten. Cloudberry? Yes. A Loner and a Rogue. Is it Branch? Branch. Slate. 2 Slates now. Yeah. And 2 Slowfurs. Red. No. I think there's 2 Snails now, right? Yeah. Nettle. There's 2 Cocos, 2 Coals, and 2 Corianders, and 2 Daisies. Grass. No. Stone. No. Milk Fur we've gotten. Leaf. Yeah, there's lots of leaves. There's 2 Squirrels, too, and there's 2 Moths. Oh, I mean, I might have already gotten her. Maybe there's not 2 Moths. There's 2 Marigolds. Mint Kit. We've gotten Minnow Kit. We need Minnow Kit. Mistle Kit. Mitzies and Fritz. They've used randomly together. We've gotten Slowfur. Grey Wing and Snow Kit? No. Minty? Okay, Minty is one. And then there's Ember Kit's a good one. Ember Dawn. I think there's 2 Ember Stars, right? No. Okay, whatever, man. Snaketail? Not anymore. Eel Tail's a good one. One Eye? We need Reed Shine still. Egg and eggs? No, they don't. Bella, I don't think we need any more bees, do we? No, we're good with bees. We're missing a Wind Clan and River Clan. Feather? No. Larch Kit? No. And we're missing, like, a early O. But I don't know who it is. Like an oat whisker? Yeah. Heron Wing? Lark Wing. We've gotten Lark Wing and Lark Song. Asher, we've gotten Mitzi. Oat Whisker. Yeah, we got Oat Whisker. Okay. Stoat Fur. We're missing the Stoat Furs. We're missing Quail Feathers. Scree. We've gotten. Mudclaw. We've gotten. Gorse Tail. Yeah, Gorse Claw and Gorse Tail. For sure. Snowflake. That's a good one. And then there's 2 Thunder Wind Clan cats that have the same exact name. Thistlepaw. Thrush Pelt. We've gotten Thrush Pelt. And then are we missing another red or another reed? Reed Tail. Shade Pelt. Shade Pelt's a good one. I think there's like at least 2 Shade Pelts, right? Okay, we're missing one between Shade Pelt. We're missing a bunch right here between Ember Kit and Foggy. This is an early F. puddle. There's only one puddle. So, shimmer pelt. Yeah. Shimmer pelt for sure. We're going down, you guys. Is there any other cues I'm not thinking of? Fawn pelt? No, there's only one fawn pelt. There's fawn pelt and fawn stat. Flash? No. Prickle kit. Prickle kit's a good one. Who's that one above Foggy? Fernleaf. Fernleaf's a good one. I think that's the first one. Frecklewish. Spider. Spider. There are 2 spiders. We're missing flower. There's lots of flowers. Oh, we're done. Okay. Well, we actually, like, finished that one. I never finished that one. 10 minutes is not enough time on this quiz when you're by yourself. You're, like, dying inside. This is a brutal quiz to do in 10 minutes by yourself. Of course, when you have, like, 40 people working on it together, it's like, whatever, man. Anyway, you guys, like I said, this was the last stream for the week. I will be back on Tuesday, weather permitting. I will be selling at MFF this weekend. So if you're in the Chicago area and you wanted to stop by, you can stop by. I'm gonna have, I'm actually gonna have, I might have my apple scarf with me because it's gonna be really cold there. So I might actually bring the apple scarf this time. That my sister knitted me that looks like the apple, the red and cream colored thing. I might actually be able to wear it at a con. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. When I come back, we will keep working on the ThunderClan Lake Camp picture. And yeah, that's gonna be the majority of the Werecat streams for like, well, whenever we finish this. But yes, I will talk to you guys all later. I'm gonna go eat something. Yeah, I'm hoping that the drive is fine, mail. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye!